pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, but the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Namaskar, welcome to Next IS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we will cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And your first article talks about economic survey and its major highlights. Now, recently, economic survey 2023-24 was tabled in Parliament by Union Minister for Finance. Talking about economic survey, it is an annual document presented by the government ahead of the union budget to review the state of the economy. It is prepared by the economic division of the Department of Economic Affairs in the Ministry of Finance under the supervision of the Chief Economic Advisor. In 1960s, it was separated from the union budget and tabled a day before the presentation of the budget. This year's economic survey highlighted that India's real GDP grew by 8.2% in financial year 24. Gross capital formation increased by 9%. In real terms, in 2023-24, retail inflation declined to 5.4% in financial year 24. It also highlighted that India's real GDP is projected to grow between 6.5% to 7% in 2024-25. And friends, for the first time ever, Economic Survey 2023-24 talked extensively about the mental health, its significance and implications on policy recommendations. According to this survey, India's microfinance sector emerged as the second largest in the world after China. India is also gaining market share in global exports of goods and services. Now, next article talks about money bill, and it is in the news because recently Supreme Court has agreed to hear the challenges against the government's passage of several legislations as money bills, which is defined under Article 110 of the Constitution. A money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha cannot amend or reject such bills, but Rajya Sabha can suggest amendments and it is up to the Lok Sabha to accept or reject them. If dispute arises over whether a bill is a money bill or not, the Lok Sabha Speaker's decision on the issue shall be considered final. However, Supreme Court has held that Speaker's decision will be subject to judicial scrutiny. Next article talks about European Union's carbon border adjustment mechanism because recently Economic Survey has highlighted issues related to this mechanism. Talking about carbon border adjustment mechanism, they are tariffs that will apply on energy intensive goods imported into the European Union. This is to ensure that local manufacturers of iron, steel and aluminium are not at a competitive disadvantage from similar goods produced in developing countries. This mechanism is expected to come into force on January 1st, 2026, but India is among the top 8 countries that will be adversely affected by this mechanism because in 2022, 27% of India's exports of iron, steel, and aluminium products went to the European Union. Next article talks about primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, which is a rare brain infection and it is caused by Naegleria fowleri, which lives in warm fresh water and soil around the world, and it infects people when it enters the body through the nose. According to recent data, a total of 15% of beneficiaries under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban belong to religious minorities. This scheme was launched in 2015 and it addresses urban housing shortages among economically weaker sections, lower income group and middle income group categories including slum dwellers by ensuring a pakka house, and a beneficiary family comprises husband, wife, unmarried sons or daughters, and this beneficiary family should not own a pakka house in his or her name or in the name of any member of his or her family in any part of India. Now, recently, INS Brahmaputra severely damaged in fire at Mumbai dockyard. Talking about INS Brahmaputra, it is the first indigenously built Brahmaputra class guided missile frigate which was commissioned into the Indian Navy in 2000. This ship is fitted with medium range, close range and anti-aircraft guns, surface-to-surface and surface-to-air missiles and torpedo launchers. It is also capable of operating Sea King and Chetak helicopters. Now India is hosting the World Heritage Committee meeting for the first time. This committee meets annually and it is responsible for managing all matters on World Heritage and deciding on sites to be inscribed on the World Heritage List. This year, the committee will examine 27 nominations from around the world, including India's Moidams, which is the burial system of the Ahom dynasty. And do you know, friends, Thai Ahom clan migrating from China established their capital in various parts of Brahmaputra River Valley from 12th to 18th century. Next article talks about PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. which was approved by government in February 2024 with the aim to increase the share of solar rooftop capacity and empower residential households to generate their own electricity. And now recently Ministry of New and Renewable Energy notified scheme guidelines for implementation of incentive to discoms, and under this scheme discoms are designated as state implementation agencies responsible for facilitating various measures including net meter availability, timely inspection and commissioning of installations. Now recently Olympic gold medal winning shooter Abhinav Bindra was awarded with Olympic order by International Olympic Committee, and he became the first Indian to receive this award. This award is given for distinguished contributions to the Olympic movement. So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates you can follow us on various social media platforms.